Namaskar students. In this video we will discuss the topic under the Indian Contract Act, which is free consent. So first of all, we would know the meaning of free consent here. So according to the Indian Contract Act, first we talk about the term which is known as consent. What is consent? Consent means when two people are agreeing on something. They are thinking in the same manner. So we say that they have given consent to each other, right? They're thinking alike. And what is free consent? So when we are saying that they are uh, confirming to each other, they are saying the same thing, they are thinking the subject matter in the same sense, related to the same thing or the same subject matter. So what that consent, when we talk about that consent, is it by their own choice? Is it by their free choice, free will, or is it forced by uh, any any factor or any external cause? So that is what we will discuss under the term free consent. So free consent here we say, according to section 14, that the will is without any influence, without any prejudice, without any force applicable, and it is not caused by any form of physical or mental force. Means it is not affected by any physical or mental force or any kind of mistake. And you're giving your will, your whatever you're stating, whatever you're saying out of your own choice, out of your own will, right? So that we call as free consent. Now we move forward to that, and we try to understand that according to the Indian Contract Act, that these are, when we talk about the term free consent, so these are 5 factors which we consider that your consent should not be influenced by any of these 5 factors, right? So whatever consent you're giving, suppose there is A and B, two people are there, and he makes an offer to B, and he wants to, or he accepts that offer. Now the acceptance which B is giving, it should not be caused by any of these 5 factors. What those 5 factors are? First is coercion, according to section 15 of the Indian Contract Act. Then undue influence, section 16. Fraud, 17. Misrepresentation, 18. And mistake, section 20, 21, 22. So I hope it is clear that the consent which you are getting or which you are giving, it should not be affected by, influenced by any of these 5 factors. We will discuss these factors one by one in the video. Next, first one is that coercion. So first is coercion. What is the meaning of coercion? First we try to understand. This is a term which we study under the other acts also. So according to the Indian Contract Act, so we will discuss according to the Indian Contract Act the meaning of coercion. So what is the meaning of coercion? That somebody, there again, in order to understand the example, we should understand that there are 2 parties here. One, it's an act or threats of a person with the intention of causing any person to enter into an agreement. So what actually coercion means? Coercion means somebody's acting, means somebody is doing something, or somebody is threatening something. So it is the actual act of doing something, or it is the threaten of doing something, right? Why A is threatening B? Because he wished to make an agreement with B. It is not that he wished to take a revenge from B. No, he wished to make an agreement with B. That is the reason why coercion is implemented under the Indian Contract Act. So what is the meaning of coercion? It says that you're committing or you're threatening. So as I said, act means doing means committing. So you're actually doing or committing, or you're actually not doing, but you just make a threatening to the other party, and you will do something. You will commit what? You will do something which is forbidden by IPC. What is IPC? That we will discuss. So you're doing something which is forbidden or which is prohibited by IPC, or you're detaining the property, or you're threatening to detain the property of another. So firstly we talk about the term this as it is a new term for us. So we'll try to find out what actually IPC is all about. So we move to here and yes. So this is, as we can see in this particular interface, which suggests that it is the main criminal code of India. It is the official criminal code of India, right? So we understand that there are certain offenses which are given here. There is a classification of offenses which is given here, right? And see, so any kind of criminal conspiracy or any kind of offenses related to the state, related to army, navy, something like that, related to elections, relating to religion, relating to the murder, homicide, miscarriage, unborn children, whatever, kidnapping, abduction, slavery, forced labor, all these things are, they comes all such offenses which falls into all these categories, as you can see on this particular interface. They are considered to be the the, the part of IPC, right? So it inculcates all those crimes which are given in under various different sections of IPC, right? So we come back again. So here it says that now we can have a better understanding what IPC. It is the main criminal code of India, and it says that what is coercion? Coercion is that if you are doing something or doing or threatening to commit something which is stopped by or which is forbidden or which is prohibited by IPC, means whatever offenses we have seen there, if you make a threat, or if you actually do which is prohibited by IPC, which we have seen in the last slide or the interface, all those things are known to be coercion under the Indian Contract Act. Suppose A is saying that you sell your property in less amount of money to me, otherwise I will I may cause some damage to your family members or to your friends or something like that. So what he is doing, he is actually threatening to do do something which is forbidden by IPC, because we have already seen all the offenses are given under the IPC, right? Or if the person is detaining means you are keeping some other person's property in your own custody, or you are not doing actually, but you are threatening to detain the property of another person. So you are keeping the property of another person into your own custody, and you say that you have to make, why are you doing so? All two things we have discussed, that you are doing something which is forbidden by IPC, or you are threatening or detaining the property of other person. Why you are doing so? Because you want to make an agreement with that person. It is not out of revenge. It is not because you want to take revenge from that person. It is just because you want to make an agreement with. We shall take an example here in order to understand this. Suppose there is A and there is B, right? And this person is having, he is having the property which is having a market price of 50 lakh rupees, right? And A says that you sell your property in less amount of money to me. Say for example, you sell it in 40 lakh rupees to me, or otherwise I'll do something which is an offense. I'll do what? I'll do that which is an offense under the IPC. Or maybe I keep off your papers of your property or something like that, or property which can be detained, which is detainable, right? So this is how we can understand the meaning of coercion under the Indian Contract Act, that you're doing something, and if you're not doing, then you're actually making a threatening call. You're threatening something to do what? To do such offense which is prohibited by IPC, or you're actually detaining, or you're making a threaten to detain the property of another person. This is known as coercion under the Indian Contract Act. Now we move forward and talk about the features. Although we have discussed, this is a part of meaning only. If we are through with the meaning, we can easily understand the features of coercion. First is that you're committing any act which is forbidden by IPC. Just a second. You're committing any act which is forbidden by IPC. So you're doing something which is actually prohibited by IPC. So we can take all those example of all those offenses which we have seen on the Google, that you can all any example or any crime which falls into that category of IPC. If you're doing any such crime, or if you're not doing, you're just threatening to commit such crime which is prohibited by IPC, that would be considered as coercion. Why you're doing so? Because you want to get into an agreement with that other person. This is the reason behind. That should be the reason, right? It should be the sole reason. Next one is threat to suicide. Say someone is committing A and B, two people are there, and A makes a, and suppose B is the family, suppose B, we call that family, right? So A makes a threatening call to the family that if you do not, say suppose name the property to me, right, or put the property in my name, I would commit suicide. So if somebody is making a threat to suicide, it is considered as an offense, right? So it is a punishable offense, but obviously committing suicide is not punishable. Why? Because obviously somebody who has already committed suicide cannot be punished. But if you are making a threat to suicide, it is punishable, and it is considered as an offense under the IPC. Next one is unlawful detaining of the any property. You are detaining the property of other person unlawfully, right? You are not having any right to detain the property of other person, but you are doing so, right? So this is also known to be coercion under the Indian Contract Act. So there is an example and case study was also there, that there was some accountant was there, some agent or accountant were there in the business, and he said that you have to release me. He said to the owner of that business that kindly release me from the from my past deeds, whatever. He must have done something in the past, so he said that you need to free me from that, you need to release me from that, or otherwise he were having the custody of certain papers, property papers with him. So he said that you need to release me, or otherwise I will keeping this paper. And so this is an example of coercion. So this is an example of unlawful detention of the property of other person. Next one is threatening to detain the other person property. So what we have discussed, that you are actually detaining the property of other person, and if you are not actually detaining, you are threatening to detain the other person's property. It is something, I hope it is clear. The difference between is threatening and actual detention, that you are actually doing so, and if you are not actually doing so, you are making a threaten to do so. That is the difference here. Next one is whatever you are doing, whatever offenses you are involved into, or whatever offenses you are making a threaten to for, the intention is to compel other person to get into an agreement, right? So here you want to make an agreement. This is quite clear. If you are doing it just out of revenge, it will not be considered coercion. It will be considered coercion under the other act, right? But it will not be considered coercion under the Indian Contract Act, right? So it will be considered coercion only when you wish to get into a contract with the other party. This is there. Next one is coercion may proceed from the party or any other person. So we can take an example here. So there is example of A and B. So we are saying that here, that coercion may be proceeded from the party or any other person. Suppose A wish to threaten B. So it's not necessary that he will make a call to B himself. He may hire C also, and through C he can make a call to B also, right? So it is also coercion, that he is directly making a call and doing the offense, or if he is not doing the offense, he can hire someone else also, or someone from his from on his behalf also can apply coercion onto B also. This is one thing. So coercion may proceed from the party or any other. So here A is the party, and any other person sees any other person. I hope it is clear. Next one is coercion may be directed against the party or any other person. So same example we can keep. Directed, suppose A wish to apply coercion onto B or any B's family, right? Or any other person, means anyone from the B's family. Upon him, A can apply coercion. So he can threaten B and he can apply coercion onto B himself, or he can apply coercion onto B's family also. So this is there. So all these things are, all these features are the features of coercion under the Indian Contract Act. And if you are finding it difficult, any issues there, kindly drop a question, your queries in the comment box. Thank you so much.